And welcome back to another German Nazarene video. And today we will be talking about every Disney animation filmed, in my opinion, ranked. And we're gonna do this tier list style. And these are all in alphabetical order, so we're gonna go through each of them one by one. Starting off with the first movie. So keep in mind, I still have not seen all of this, but I do know how they are. I've seen it all. Let's go through it. 101 Dalmatians. I think this was a pretty good movie in my opinion. It's classic. You have one of my favorite Disney villains in Cruella de Vil. She stole the show. Oh, the puppies are great characters. I love dogs. Dog movies are always a fun time. It's the humor. Once again, Cruella is a very good villain. She stole the show. Yeah, just a solid movie. Alice in Wonderland. I also think this is just good, probably above 101 Dalmatians because I like the art style, I like the animation, there's good storytelling, there's fun characters like Alice herself, Cheshire Cat, the Mad Hatter, the Queen of Hearts, off with their heads, always a classic. The colors are great, there's a bunch of cool thematic visuals. You know it, you love it. Next up on this list, Aristocats. I've seen this only one time, and I think it was also okay. It was also good. Yeah, the Aristocats. It's a nice, decent film. It's good. Good old Disney. This is the start of the post Walt Disney era, like in the dark ages of Disney. But I thought this was a good film. Like, there's a good song called "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat." I like Duchess and O'Malley's interactions and their dynamic with each other. I thought that was really cute. It's another animal movie. I like animals. I like cats also. So I think Aristocats is just good. Now we got Atlantis. I think this is a solid film. I recommend you guys should watch it. It's a very underrated movie. It's very slept on. There's not really any music. Well, there is a soundtrack and a score, but no like people singing. But the story is great. The characters are fun. Milo's a great protagonist. The twist villain Rourke is so good. Kita is such a good character. The side characters even are important too. Atlantis is so beautiful. It's so beautifully animated. Like, you should go check out this film, guys. Atlantis. Bambi. This is another classic. I'll put it under 101 Dalmatians between Aristocats. It's a cute movie. It's solid. It's simple, and it does its job well as a Disney movie. There's emotion. We all know the scene of Bambi's mom getting shot. Like, and then yeah, man. In quotes, the one of the best villains, man. Yeah, an antagonistic force. The little April shower teaches a lot of lessons about growing up. I thought that was a cute moral, and it applies well. So, but yeah, Bambi. It's a good movie. Ooh, we got a peak fiction here. Beauty and the Beast. This is one of the best Disney movies ever. Like I always try and rewatch it every day, and I listen to their songs like at least one song from the movie once a week. Like Beauty and the Beast has so much nostalgia and so much going for it that makes it so good. Like once again, the songs are amazing. Alan Menken's a genius. The Belle and the Beast are such amazing characters. Uh, you also have Gaston. He's one of my favorite villains, and the furniture pieces are very good too. Ooh, you're gonna all right. Warning: you might see that message a lot, so please bear with me. So I'm gonna try my best and not have that there. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast, a very great movie. I feel like every Disney fan has seen it at least once. Once Beauty and the Beast, it's very good. Big Hero 6. Solid. I think it's a solid movie. It definitely deserves its flowers. I like it a lot. The Callahan, the twist, it's not the greatest. It gets controversy, but still, Big Hero 6. It's a good movie to hang out when on like a Friday afternoon. chill with. Baymax is always a fun time. Dealing with grief and loss. Hero is really relatable as a character, and the microbot scenes is great. All right, Black Cauldron. Honestly, though, I don't think it's bad. I'm gonna put it as mid because this movie lately has been getting a lot of traction. Like you have a good villain in the Horned King, and also even though the animation is like very outdated-ish, but it fits the style of like the medieval era, which is what Black Cauldron was based off in the Middle Ages. Yeah, Black Cauldron, it's okay. Like I thought, like I know it gets a lot of slack, and know it gets a lot of shit for being like the movie that led Disney to a near bankruptcy. But looking back at it, I thought it was like okay. Like I knew what they were going for a different style, for like a more mature theme. And if we're gonna see more mature movie, that is gonna be one of the best movies on the list. Very soon, in a little bit. Bolt. Um, I honestly like this movie. It's cute. It's a nice, cute buddy film with the dog and the cat. Bolt, the dog, and the cat and the hamster, her named Rhino. It's a nice dynamic between Penny and then trying to get and then Bolt trying to get home to Penny. It's a nice solid movie. I probably would just put it in just good. Like I don't think it's solid enough, so I'll just put it in just good. I probably like it more. I like it less than Alice, but more than 101 Dalmatians. Brother Bear. High key, this movie is slept on. I'm gonna put it here for now because there are some meme worthy moments that are quotable from Kenai and Coda, and there's a good message like you cannot hide from the truth no matter what. And that scene was really hits home. Like it's emotional, it has emotional impacts. Phil Collins does a good job. Like this movie is underrated. It's slept on. Chicken Little. This movie people love to hate on. I don't think it's garbage per se. It is a bad movie. Don't get me wrong, but it is. It's like it's so bad it's good. Like it's that has that type of thing. Like there's still some memes to me make about it. Like it's so fun to make. It's so bad to make fun of. Like Chicken Little has its moments. Cinderella. I thought this movie like solid. It's like it sets the formula of Disney well, Disney princess and fairy tale movies well. Cinderella, like she's not in the movie that much herself, but yeah, it's still a good movie. It's a classic. The ballroom scene, the glass slipper, the midnight. Like I also like the mice singing. A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes that plays in my car at least once a week for some reason. Yeah, Cinderella. It's a classic, solid movie. Dinosaur. I'm gonna put it bad. Like, there's nothing to talk about in this movie. Like, Aladar doesn't really do anything. This movie is boring. I don't even know why it's happening. But there's one good thing about it. It's the score and the opening sequence. Like, that alone keeps it from going to holy garbage. But it's still not good. Dumbo. I'm gonna put it as just good, and I'll probably put it above Bold, below Alice. Like the scene where the pink elephants, it's a classic. It works well. Like it can be scary at times, but it's a good way to showcase Disney's animation achievements back in the 40s. And also a nice scene elephant fly. I like Dumbo as a character. He's cute. Huge elephants are great. Emperor's New Groove. This is a solid movie. I'm gonna put it above Atlantis. This movie is like the meme Disney movie. Like one of the meme. Like you're so much things to quote on. Yzma's a great villain. Cusco's a great protagonist. Pacha is a great character. Kronk is the guy to look. You can always count on. Like I never liked your crane puffs. Yeah, a lot of pull the lever, Kronk. Like the Emperor's New Groove has so much. You also learn a lot about the Incan culture and the dynamics of and the relationship between Cuzco and Pacha, both in llama and human form. And you learn about Cuzco's growth as a character as he learns to accept what life is like outside of being a spoiled king in the palace. Encanto, peak. This is one of Disney's best modern masterpieces. Like I've seen this movie like 5 times now, and it always impresses me no matter what. Like I all like the family generational trauma lesson is tackled so well. Like the message of this story is so good. Family is so important. The songs are great. Lin Manuel Miranda's a goat for that, for composing the music. Like we don't talk about Bruno or what's another one of my favorite songs? Surface Pressure, or What Else Can I Do? Like, and the Family Madrigal and Dos Oruguitas. Like there's such good music. I don't think there's a bad song in this. Like Encanto's like one of the best modern Disney movies for a reason. And Mirabel's one of my favorite modern characters. Fantasia 2000. I think it's this one's also just good. Like I'll put it right here. Fantasia 2000. It's good. Like I like the the Earth Fairy or the Earth Spirits portion and the Firebird. Like I thought that was really cool. I like the pomp and circumstance. Like there's good. Like I love the elements of classical music blending in with the animation. Like obviously it doesn't hold up to the original Fantasia, but it's still a good time and a good film to listen to. And speaking of Fantasia, this is a very good movie. Solid film all around. Fantasia is great. There's great music, great animation, like great emotion impact with the Rite of Spring as well as the dinosaurs and Chernobog and the A Night on Bald Mountain. Like such creepy animation and that works so well. And then the Sorcerer's Apprentice scene, good, good stuff. Sorcerer Mickey's the goat. Fox and the Hound, it's just good. Also, I'll put it above Bold, below Dumbo, because I love the relationship between Copper and Todd, and like the sad and the emotion it displays, and like how they had to separate and become from best friends to sworn enemies. Like that is such a sad dynamic to go off on, and I believe and I also like how Amos Slade redeems himself. Like he is now forgiven as a character. He learns how to treat wildlife and learns how to respect respect Copper for saving, or respect Todd for saving Copper's life, and that's his real a true friend. And I thought that was a pretty well done scene, all things together. All right, the Frozen movies. Frozen 2 to start off. Come Me Crazy. I thought this movie was pretty good. I thought this movie was decent AF. Obviously, it doesn't hold off. It doesn't compare to the first one, but Frozen 2, like it still has great animation, good songs like Show Yourself and Some Things Never Change. And you also like the characters are still fun, like Elsa and Anna. Kristoff got derailed. Kristoff and Olaf got character derailment, but yeah, Elsa and Anna are still good characters. Here's the I like the mysteries between and the origins of her ice powers, and the sad scene and the emotional drama. Like I thought this had everything. I think I might put it higher. I'll put it over. I'll put it over Dumbo, Heike. Yeah. Now the first Frozen. Call Me Crazy. I think this movie's still a peak. It's still one of the best Disney movies ever. Frozen is timeless. Like you cannot get enough of it. I don't care what anyone says. Let It Go is one of the best things Disney has ever made. It Let It Go is still a banger song. I don't care how much it's overrated. Like sure, I agree it's overplayed, but come on, you cannot tell me you can never stop listening to that song. Like like Frozen has so many replayability, so much rewatchability. Like this emotional impact, the lessons it teaches about loving your sister, loving your siblings, and your own family, and always like never meet a man before you met. You have to learn to love and develop. You have to develop your relationship before finding true love, and the true love is comes between family. I think that message still holds up very well today, and Disney still have cooked with this film to this very day. I don't care what anyone says. This movie is still peak. Still below Encanto. I think Encanto is a better, and then Beauty and the Beast. Fun and Fancy Free. Mid. Like the stories are kind of suck. Like Bongo the Bear. It's a cute, but I don't really get it. And then also Mickey and the Beanstalk. It's decent, but there's nothing too crazy, nothing too special. Ooh, this is one of my favorite Disney movies ever. Peak masterpiece, Hercules. Easy. Y'all, you have got to watch this movie if you haven't already. Hercules is one of the best things Disney has ever made. Like even if you don't care about Greek mythology, like the humor, the characters are great. Hades is like my favorite villain of all time. Hercules, one of my favorite Disney characters. Meg also, oh, she is so amazing. She's so relatable. Oh, Susan Egan did a great job as her, and James Woods. We don't like James Woods, but he's very great. Did a very great job voicing Hades. Like the comedy is top notch, top tier. Here it has some of my favorite Disney songs ever, like "Go the Distance" and "Zero to Hero," and "I Won't Say I'm in Love." Like everything about this movie is so good. Like you have got to see it. Home on the Range. Uh, this movie for fucking sucks, dude. I can't. I don't. I have still not seen it, but I know how bad this movie is because all the cows are so dumb and stupid, and the villain doesn't really do much either. Like it's nothing really threatened, but this movie, I don't know what to say about this. Whatever. This is my favorite Disney movie ever. Like Hunchback of Notre Dame. Where can I start? Uh, all right, let's. I might make a separate video on why Hunchback of Notre Dame is my favorite Disney movie, but let's start here. You got Disney's best villain ever. He's my second favorite villain, Claude Frollo. He's in the movie a lot of the time. He is pure evil. He used to scare me when I was younger. You have one of the best protagonists in Disney ever with in Quasimodo, and one of the best deuteragonists, and one of the best female characters in animation period in Esmeralda. Like they all achieve something for a common goal, looking for what's best in your heart, and even outside of appearances, inside there's always a heart glowing within. And Hunchback of Notre Dame beautifully displays that over the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, and amazing, beautiful music composed by Steven Schwartz and Alan Menken. The best Disney villain song in Hellfire, and one of the best one of the best I Want songs in Out There, and one of the best opening to an animated film in The Bells of Notre Dame. Like this movie has everything. Like it's very good. You have to watch it. It's one of Disney's greatest masterpieces and achievements. All right, now we're on to the Jungle Book. I think it's solid. I'll say, nah, it's just good. Like Jungle Book, it's a good buddy film. It's classic. The Bare Necessities is still a good song, and I Want to Be Like You. Ooh, ooh. Like the music's good. I like Mowgli as a character. Baloo also, he's a fun character. It's just good. Lane the Tramp. I'll put it under 101 Dalmatians. I'll put both the dog movies here. Lane the Tramp is very known for its one iconic spaghetti scene, and it carried. And then it has I like the dogs, the characters. There's not much to talk about, but that's all I have to say. It's just the spaghetti scene is just too iconic to me. We got another of my banger film here, Lilo and Stitch. Uh, I'm gonna say It's not a peak masterpiece because I haven't seen it recently, but it is a very good movie. Lilo and Stitch holds up as like another one of the best movies in the 21st century. Like, and it's coming out with a remake this year. Lilo and Stitch. Ohana means family. Stitch is one of Disney's most iconic characters right now. Oh, like you see Stitch merch like everywhere, and like the messages in this movie, the big themes and morals and the maturity, like there is some drama and there is some impact. Like you can feel it emotionally both as a kid and adult, and that's what Disney does well in some of these films. And Lilo and Stitch does that. Yeah, and like I said, Lilo and Stitch performs that pretty well. Oh, we got one of the best Disney movies here. It used to be my favorite, but I still think it's. Of course, I still think this is one of Disney's greatest thing. Might be Disney's best film ever created, but it's not my favorite. But yeah, Lion King. What can there be said about Lion King? Like the emotion, the lessons in that movie, like the morals between a relationship between father and son, reclaiming the throne. You were the chosen one. Like listening to your parents at all times, and then believing in yourself. Like they might not be here forever. Like the drama, the impact the movie makes. Like it touches you. Lion King is so timeless. Like this is Disney's like peak greatest masterpiece period. like and it's not even my favorite movie right now, but it used to be, and there's a reason why. And you, of course, you have like one of the best songs ever in Circle of Life and Hakuna Matata, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight, and Just Can't Wait to Be King. That's a good song too. Like Lion King. What is there anything bad with this movie? Like I can't name a single thing that's wrong with it. I don't know. Little Mermaid, the first Renaissance film, I still think this is solid. I think it's better than Kanto in my opinion. Little Mermaid, but worse, a little worse than Beauty and the Beast, but it doesn't mean it's still a great movie. It's a classic Disney Renaissance film. Great fairy tale. Ariel is one of the most recognizable characters in Disney. She is such a cool character, part of your world, and Under the Sea are some of great Disney's most iconic songs. I also like the song "Kiss the Girl," and The Little Mermaid has a classic, always fun story to look back on. Ursula, a great villain as always. Great story, Little Mermaid. Yeah, it's a good movie. Make Mine Music. It's another movie I have not seen, and it's like it's pretty mid. Like there's some few good things about it, like the slapstick scene and the dancing and like the swing, but there's not much really to talk about it. Like the Disney package era films, most of them would probably go in the mid because I don't really watch them. The first Winnie the Pooh movie, or yeah, it's just good. Winnie the Pooh is such a great character. I'm just gonna put it here because I like Winnie the Pooh. He's one of my favorite Disney characters ever since I was little. Winnie the Pooh has good stories. It's cute. It's charming. Winnie the Pooh is just good. Ooh, this is another underrated movie you guys should watch. Meet the Robinsons. I think it's above Fantasia, but worse than Lilo and Stitch. Meet the Robinsons is such a good movie because, one, it has a great lesson in that it's up to you to make your choice to make a better future out of you. Like, tell me that does not hit hard. Like, keep moving forward. And Walt Disney himself made that quote. Keep moving forward because it doesn't matter how down you are, or it's only up from there. And I think Meet the Robinsons teaches and exemplifies that lesson very well, very good. And it has a very underrated villain, a very underrated character in the bowler hat guy. And Lewis is such a good character as well as Wilbur. Like Meet the Robinsons has such good lessons and morals that you guys should watch this. It's very relatable if you're growing up and if you're older now. Like I thought that movie was like good or decent as a kid, but it gets better as you watch it as an adult. Melody Time, I don't really care, but I'm just gonna put it in mid because I don't really care. I don't know what happened in that movie. Ooh, Moana, peak. I really like this movie. I saw it for the first time like last year or a few years ago. I'm surprised I haven't seen it, but when I did see it, of course it holds up to one of the Disney's best. I think I'll say it's below Little Mermaid, above Encanto. Moana, yeah, she's one of the best modern Disney characters. Maui's one of my favorite modern Disney characters. They're played by The Rock, the GOAT. And then Ali Cravalho does a great job as Moana. Her character arc throughout the movie is amazing. It's so good. How Far I'll Go is one of the best modern Disney songs. And You're Welcome is another good song I like. Like the twist between Tekka and Tefiti is done amazingly, and the visuals, the water, the ocean. Like this movie is so much positive stuff about it. Like I don't think there's like similar to Lion King. There's not really a bad thing about it. I can't name a single bad thing about it, and I think that's what made Moana so good. Uh oh, here another peak film. I'm gonna put this above Little Mermaid, Loki above Beauty and the Beast, but below Lion King. Mulan is one of my favorite movies for a reason because it's about saving the world but risking your life. Like I think that's what makes Mulan a very inspirational character and a role model to a lot of people because she is such a strong warrior who's willing to risk her and lay down her life to save her people. And and also she's willing to follow the customs no matter what happens, and because she's so willing to help, she's willing to learn. She took her father's place in the army, and then she went on from there and she kicked some ass. Like Mulan, she is one of my favorite Disney characters ever, and she has her movie has one of the best songs, Disney songs, in "I'll Make a Man Out of You," and another pretty solid song in "Reflection." And Mulan just has so many good things about it. Okay, I think we're like over halfway. Oliver and Company. Uh, it's okay. Like it's not mid, but it's. I'll put it above Aristocats. Billy Joel's in it. It has Bill Sykes is a good villain, and I can't really say much about it, but it's good. Like the music, New York, the animation is pretty good. And the setting of New York fits well with the theme, with the vibes it gets. Peter Pan. This is probably my favorite classic Disney movie. I think it's below Lilo and Stitch, but I like it more than Meet the Robinsons. Like this is my favorite old school Disney movie because it's so timeless. Like the lesson of we live of your life as long as you can before you grow up, because we don't want to ever grow up and deal with the hardships in our future life in adult. Like that hits home very well because as a 24-year old, like adulting has been a bit rough late. As my adulting life is pretty taxing, and I could get overwhelmed sometimes. But Peter Pan t- teaches you to live your life young and respect and treat it well and be happy for what you got. And I think, and that's what Peter Pan is so good about. It, Going back to the movie, yeah, Peter Pan, he's a great character, great protagonist. The boy who never grew up. Captain Hook's a classic good villain. I like the other characters like Wendy, John, and Michael. Tinkerbell can be a little bit of a shit head, but she's she's iconic. She's funny. Like I like Tinkerbell more in her own movies than in Peter Pan, but yeah, she's there. The adventures and the fights in Peter Pan are all great. TikTok Croc is a funny addition. Peter Pan's good. It's a very good, solid movie. Pinocchio. I actually think this is really good as also. I think it's above Big Hero 6 but below Atlantis. Pinocchio is what I call as a classic that Disney was did not mind doing at the time because it has a lot of mature themes like the Pleasure Island scene about turning the boys into donkeys. That went pretty harsh and was pretty disturbing to see if you're a younger viewer. And then when you wish, and then also the coachman is a nightmare fuel, the character. And then Honest John and Gideon, good classic old school villains. But then When You Wish Upon a Star, it created Disney's main theme song from Pinocchio, and I believe it deserves points and deserves this spot on the tier list. Pocahontas. Okay, I know a lot of people give some flack and some shit for this movie, but I don't think it's that bad. It's not mid. Like I think it's still decent enough because some parts of it carry. I'll put it above Leading Tramp, but below Pocahontas, but below Dalmatians. Pocahontas is known for its like historical inaccuracy, but the one thing that saves Pocahontas from being bad is its music and its soundtrack and its animation. Like Colors of the Wind gives you such a beautiful, whimsical journey through nature, and Pocahontas is so in line and so in touch with it that it makes you feel like you're flying in the skies with her. Other than that, that's the only one saving grace of this film. Everything about it was so like controversial. Like she's an 18-year-old, and like there's not. Then even some of the climaxes feel a bit cliche and rushed. But Pocahontas, like that scene alone is like one of it deserved to win an Oscar. Like that song, for a reason. Like Colors of the Wind is one of the best Disney songs ever. Princess and the Frog. I think it's solid. Oh, whoops. This goes here. Princess and the Frog. Better than Big Hero 6 and Princess and the Frog. Better than Atlantis. Uh, but worse than Meet the Robinsons. Princess and the Frog is a very good movie. Um, like it's good modern day jazz. New Orleans. The vibes are great. Hey, Tiana's such a great character. Naveen's such a good prince. Lottie is one of my favorite characters of recency because no matter what, she's a rich and spoiled girl, but no matter what, she'll always support Tiana's dreams of opening a restaurant, and more characters should follow that example of her. And Dr. Facilier is another one of my favorite villains. He's so cool, he's suave, he's mysterious. The voodoo magic animation is splendid. Like, this is one of Disney's last 2D animated films, and they cooked and went out of the ballpark with this. And Princess and the Frog deserves a solid A-tier rating. Ralph Breaks the Internet. This movie is so bad. No, actually, no, it's not bad. It's mid. It's better than Melly Time Ralph because there's some meme things about it. There's some things to make fun of. It's like similar to Chicken Little, except it has a story. But they derailed Ralph and Vanellope so hard. Like the one good scene are like the princesses and some of the references in there. But this movie it's so bad in some ways, but sometimes so funny in the other ways. Like it's funny and crazy. Next up is Raya the Last Dragon. I believe I really like this movie. I thought this movie was good. I'll put it under Brother Bear, but above 101 Dalmatians for because Raya. I think people misunderstand is like the value of trust in the movie is so strong because it teaches that you gotta be more like willing to help others when times are in very bad need, and having a Sisu entrust having what's her name, Namari, entrust her trust in Sisu and Raya. It really shows a lot. It speaks a lot of volumes to what they are as characters, and I think their dynamic works well, and I really like their rivalry with each other in a lot of ways because Raya, for one, she's a strong, headstrong, young woman and a warrior, and Namari, they both want to achieve one goal and try to retrieve the last dragon and protect it at all costs to keep their civilization alive. And I think Raya is a good movie and it's a showcase about it. Rescuers Down Under. I think this is I'll put it as just good. I'll put it like the other under here because Rescuers Down Under, it's great. It's solid. It's a good movie. Like the one memorable scene I really like is flying with Marowak, I think. Marahute. Marowak's the Pokemon. Marahute, the bird, and Cody. Like that scene is pretty amazing. I think that's all I have to say about that movie. Rescuers Down Under. Robin Hood and Little John walk into the forest. I think it's a just good film. I'll put it under 101 Dalmatians. Robin Hood, nice classic feeling movie. Classic movie. Good vibes all around. Robin Hood's a good character. Little John. The Prince John's a funny guy. Maid Marian. Wacky and comedic humor. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's a good movie. Saludos amigos. I don't really remember much, so I'm just gonna put it mid, but I just know like it teaches a lot about South American culture, and I think it's pretty important to know. I'll put it just good. Sleeping Beauty, I rewatched this again recently, and man, it still holds up to this day. I'll put it below Big Hero 6. It's barely in solid films because Maleficent, she cooked during this film very well. Like Aurora's not in the movie most of the time, but her one song in Once Upon a Dream is so good. Like I hear that song so many times on Disney playlists. Maleficent, yeah, once again, very great. She's one of the most iconic villains in Disney history. The climax between Philip and the dragon. Philip actually does stuff unlike other princes. Is Philip's a good character? I like the three fairies. He's Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Like Sleeping Beauty, classic fairy tale and classic Disney magic, deserves a solid film in my book. Snow White, Disney's first ever animated movie, or the first ever animated fiction film, and I believe it still holds up well. Classic movie, you know and love. Actually, I'll put it up below Cinderella, but above, here, yeah. Snow White, great movie, solid movie for its time. The achievements it did, it laid down the foundation of what Disney is today. 1937, yeah, it still looks good for its standards. Snow White's great iconic character, the seven dwarves, great characters, and the evil queen. You want Apple, like the good climax, the good twists. Like Snow White, still holds up well to this day. Sword in the Stone. I have still not seen this, but I'm just gonna say it's just good. I'll put it above Slutus because Merlin's a good character and Madame Mim's a good villain. Yeah. Ooh, more some banger films. Tangled. I think this deserves to be here. Tangled is like the probably the best Disney movie in the 20th first century. Like, hear me out. Like, it's like a classic Disney movie in a modern gen way, and it's like perfect for that. And first of all, you have the classic fairy tale characters in Rapunzel, played by Mandy Moore, the great talented Mandy Moore, and then Flynn Rider, played by Zachary. I forgot his last name. Zachary Levi, and Mother Gothel, played by Donna Murphy. Like, yeah, you got a great character in Rapunzel, a great protagonist and princess, my favorite princess to be in fact. She is achieving her dreams to reach the lanterns on her 18th birthday, and despite being trapped in the tower for her whole life, pretty much her whole life, and you also have a handsome prince who was a thief in Flynn Rider, and her and Rapunzel's dynamics, their dynamic is like perfect. They're like meant for each other. It flows so well. The relationship build up is like amazing. Then Mother Gothel, good villain. She's like a slightly worse version of Claude Frollo, but being a slightly worse version of like one of the GOAT villains is still strong, and that's what made Mother Gothel a really good villain in my opinion. And then it has some of my favorite songs ever, like "I See the Light" or "I Got a Dream" and "When Will My Life Begin." Like, great music by the GOAT Alan Menken too. Here's another one of my favorite Disney movies, Tarzan. It's great. The animation is spectacular. The 3D and the movements, they're so fluid and beautiful. Oh, that atmosphere and environment is gorgeous of the jungle. I love Tarzan's relationship with Kerchak. Oh no, his growing to build his relationship with Kerchak and his mother Kala, and then Tarzan's relationship with Jane is so cute and charming. Jane is such a great character. She's one of my favorite Disney characters. Also, the music by Phil Collins and the score is amazing. Like Two Worlds, You'll Be in My Heart, are they're so great. And Strangers Like Me. Like, there's so much good about this movie. Like, people have still not seen Tarzan, and I am surprised. You should go see Tarzan. It is that good. Okay, we got another package film. This is like my favorite of the package films, Ichabod and Mr. Toad. I'll put it in uh just good because it does Ichabod because Mr. Toad's segment's pretty funny. Like it's like I'm just carried by the fact because I know it because of the ride at Disneyland, and then Ichabod, the Headless Horseman, crazy character. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, like it's like a fun chill movie if you're bored. Great Mouse Detective, highly recommend you should watch it. I'm gonna put it in solid because it's pretty slept on. It's underrated. Like I wouldn't choose this movie if I'm with if like I'll only choose this movie if I'm alone, and I'll put it below Great Mouse Detective, below Sleeping Beauty. I think Sleeping Beauty still better, but Great Mouse Detective, it's a solid movie. I like the adventures in London, the climactic fight in the Big Ben. Radigan is a good villain. He's a very good villain, in fact. Oh, Radigan's a good song. Basil is a great character. I like a lot of the wacky adventures we find in that movie, The Great Mouse Detective. You should guys watch it. The Rescuers. I think this is just good. I think the